Good evening and welcome to Bilbcraft. I hope you've all had a lovely day. I've had a pretty relaxed one. I think it's a public holiday today in the UK. I've been treating it as if it's a public holiday, apart from a little bit of work. But yes, welcome back to Bilbcraft, our Bilbo the Cat Minecraft server, which I think this week celebrates its third, or it's entering its fourth month of being online. It's still pretty wild to me just how much it's grown in those 4 months. But you're very welcome. Tonight, all we're going to be doing, nothing terribly stressful, nothing terribly high energy. We're going to take a look at some of the builds that folks have been working on since last week, and we are also going to be building a little park in the main city beside the spawn area. There's been a big sort of unused bit of land beside the railway that it'd be really nice to turn into something that everybody can use. And it's got this massive pixel art of Bilbo right in the middle. Bilbo is in the house. He is in the other room. We just spent about half an hour just chilling together and having a lovely time. He may come and join us. I have made and prepared, well, not really done a very good job, not seeing it lit up, but the bed is ready for him should he want to come in. In other news, it was my birthday on Wednesday, and I decided, because we're stuck inside 23 hours a day right now, I would get myself a little present. And I've been wanting one of these for about 5 years now. This is my latest large boy. This is a London Underground rolling stock tube train cushion, which will now live in my spare bedroom here. It is absolutely, well, it's big, and I've just whacked the blinds with it. It's pretty big. It's a Metropolitan line train to Aldgate. On the other end, we've got the roundel, and on the underneath we have the London Underground roundel and the font, or the name in the official font. So this will live over here. Good for hugging. They're about £20 for those who are also considering one. I've been trying to get a hold of one for about about 5 years now. And for a long time they were undeliverable to Northern Ireland for some reason. They don't have any massive lithium batteries in them. There's nothing dangerous, but the people just refuse to ship them for whatever reason. I also have some of our other growing Bilbcraft stream traditions. A cup of tea, well, a cup for tea with the Boy Watcher mug, world famous Boy Watcher mug. And I have some Red Bush Rooibos tea ready to go. I'm trying this thing called going to bed at reasonable times. So I'm trying not to drink too much caffeinated tea after about 6 in the evening. It's just a sensible way to try to keep to that. I also spent about 10 minutes before coming on line here cleaning up a big milk spill, because I filled these new tiny little milk jugs that you would get in a cafe. And Bilbo ran underneath me. I didn't see him until the last minute and had to jump out of his way. So luckily they're still in one piece. I hope you've all had a pleasant week. I know it's been a difficult one for a lot of folks. And let me know what you've been up to in live chat, sure. We have we have 16 people on Bilbcraft right now, which is a a pretty decent number. And we're building really close to spawn, so it'll be easy to get folks around. And if you have any questions about the server or about anything in general, stick it in the YouTube chat. A very easy one to begin with. Hey Ellen, which political ideology do you identify with the most? I call myself a socialist. I have for a long time. And that's generally as far into it as I get, because for various reasons. Yeah, I try to keep that vague. Mostly because a lot of things I'm still learning about. I've been working in human rights and around politics for a decade now, but there's still so much to learn. So I'm going to switch over to Minecraft, and you should now be able to hear the game as it goes, and we'll just get straight into the game. So I'm going to jump into voice chat now, which we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, to just get a live chat going, and it helps us coordinate and build. Hopefully it'll go grand. There's always a risk that it won't, but we will see. The folks in the chat are, I understand, expecting it, but we will just hope that there's nothing libelous or terribly awful going on. That's quite unlikely. Voice chat, you're now live on the Bilbcast stream. Say hello.
Hello, internet.
Hello, the stream.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Whoever has me on loudspeakers, turn them really far down, or get headphones, because it'll echo pretty badly. Thank you very much. The Minecraft cat meows bring me so much joy. Yeah, same. Bilbo does not like them. I'm not sure if he gets threatened by their numbers if he's about and hears them, but he generally gives the computer glares whenever they're about. So I set up some hotkeys earlier. And of course I didn't set up the transition hotkey, so that will work. Here we go. We're now in Bilbcraft. So there's just a couple of folks hanging at spawn here, and we can make a little start to building. First of all, though, I was trying to work out for so long why my webcam looked so bad on stream, because it's a 1080p webcam. It's when I'm doing like the 90th Zoom call for the week, because I do a lot of Zoom calls because my work is international. I was trying to work out why it looked so bad on YouTube, and it turns out that OBS, the streaming software that I use, was only accepting it was only accepting a really weird resolution. It wasn't half the resolution, so 720p. It wasn't even a quarter. It was some weird in between, so it was having to upscale, and it just wasn't a very good time whatsoever. So it looks a bit better now, which I'm very excited for. So this is, for those that haven't been here, or haven't been here in a while, this is what Bilbcraft spawn looks like. Pretty densely built, and a lot changing from week to week, which is good. There's always a good amount of news in that respect. We're going to go over towards Central Station to the area for building now, but I have a couple of little new spawn developments just to show off, because they're pretty fancy. I did just chuck a wooden axe out of my hand, which is what you use in World Edit when you're managing a server, to do large scale changes to the world. This is things that I have noticed during the week. This is the new Gunpowder Shop, which I think it's fair to say gets its message across that it is a gunpowder shop fairly clearly. I'm assuming it's a Scottish gunpowder shop, and has explosives sitting here in the open. We appear to have a street side sugarcane farm. there are a lot of chickens somewhere. I'm not sure where. Oh, here they are. That's why they're making so much noise. The gunpowder farm stretches back here. This is actually a new build that I haven't seen and doesn't really seem to have many. What is this? Don't know what yet, but something's being built there. Not a problem.
I should note that the Gunpowder Shop looks like it's also a cat cafe.
Cool. The Gunpowder Shop is also a cat cafe. One of the bigger builds that has been here actually for a pretty long time, but is now nearing completion, is Big Ben, which has recently been renamed. Is it Behemoth Benjamin, something like that? It's something quite similar,
Yes.
something quite silly. But this is Big Ben, and I think I think it is fair to call it pretty big. It's how high are we up on the map now? Let's just see. We are. I always get lost when I'm looking at this. We're 152 blocks from bedrock, or from the lowest level of bedrock, so pretty high up. Big Ben, I think, will be accessible from the inside, but I think the clock faces just look lovely.
It already is.
It already is accessible from the inside. So that is Behemoth Benjamin. A towering presence on the Bilbcraft spawn area map. You can also see that there is just an absolute ton of stuff going on here. For those who were here last week, and we will just pray that we can load as many chunks as we need to load. Some of the biggest changes in the last week were the completion just after the stream here at Memoriam Park, which is where cats who have passed away are memorialized. So here, for example, is PP of PP's Playhouse, and the latest addition is of Nessie, who sadly passed away recently, a fairly well-known Twitter cat. Over slightly further west, we also have, in fact, we're now so far west that we're outside spawn protection. There's a massive build project going on. Peel says, I think this is my first time here, and I really love how relaxed and friendly this is. Thank you. I'm glad so. Yeah, the whole point is just that it's something nice to follow along with, or just chill alongside. I'm not intending on making this, or to be honest, really any of my streams particularly energetic, because by the time I'm finished with work in the day, it's usually too much of an ask for me to do that anyway. So if we get the chunks that we hope to get, over here is a massive new project called the Bilbcraft Metropolitan Mall, which I understand it will take 45,000 andesite, or sorry, 45,000 diorite to build. Diorite is this sort of white tiled block there. This is an absolutely enormous build, and it's the project of a number of folks, but it's going to be a massive mall. Donation box: sand, gravel, diorite, dirt, and white concrete. Future site of the Bilbcraft Mall. So we do have subway access here. This road leads down to the new subway line, which is being built this far out, and we have road access. But this the whole site forms a big capital E. So this is only about a half of the length of the site, and this is the depth. So pretty sizable once it's all completed. I understand it will be a pretty significant ask, but that's not the focus of our build tonight, and we will get to a few more builds later on. I'm just going to go to Central Station so that we can pop over to the place where we're going to be building tonight. And I'm going to try to work out what is the best survival mode way to get here. With no respect to build, my favourite part of the Bilbcraft is the start when you introduce the podcast. Thank you. These streams seem to bring the voice fans to the table, so that is good. I'm glad so. I trained my voice for a number of years, so I'm glad it's having some effect. I used to have a lot more of a pronounced, not even pronounced Belfast accent, it's just a different type of Northern Irish accent, and that I used to get very different comments about that. So this is. Are there any plans for what's going on in the mall? Do you know? I'm not entirely sure just yet. It's still a work in progress, obviously. There's a lot still to be done, and I think it was only earlier today that the floor plan was actually laid out in totality. So there's so much building that needs to go on that I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. I imagine it will be open for folks to set up shop in, to run whatever they want from it. But I'm not sure of the exact details just yet. This is new. This is a sculpture, perhaps, in the middle of where we're hoping to build, which is absolutely fine. So, for folks who want to get in on the building action, I'm just going to make a day, just so we can see what we're doing. For folks who want to come and build, one of our moderator team, Spooky, says that they made it. We can keep it, we can build around it. It's here ready. We'll make something of it. So where we are on the map, and you can see the map for Bilbcraft 24/7. You can really come at any time whatsoever. It's at it's at bilbo.cat/craft, bilbo.cat/craft, and if you look just to the northwest of Spawn, this is where we are. There's a big wheat field, and it's used by some folks. It's not used a terrible amount, and the most pronounced parts of this map are these two pieces of pixel art, which are actually in our intro for Bilbcraft, where you fly through the boy watcher mug and see Bilbo. That is lovely tea. So there's a lot around here. It's a fairly chaotic part of the map, I think, in a really nice way. But I think we can build a nice little park around here. We do have some other parks nearby. We have the Memoriam Park, which we just saw, and also the grounds around the Twitter Meowseum. There's somebody riding the train. Good stuff. Did they jump off? Maybe, I'm not sure. And we have some access steps up to somebody's house up there. But this is a pretty large part of the map, and we have plenty of things that we can do here. So I'm going to say to folks, TPA to me if you want to build the park. But I'm absolutely grand building it myself, if not. But we'll probably get a few.
There's a few of us here already.
Sorry?
There's a few of us here already.
Okay, good stuff. Where are yous? Oh, you're over there. Good stuff. Okay, well, let's make a start. So, I can give folks some fireworks, just to get up and sort of see what's going on here. don't need to bring anything, just yourself, and we'll give out the materials. Folks with Elytra, if you want to take a couple of fireworks just to see up around yourselves, and get a picture of what's going on, that'll probably help us plan the park. I have some ideas. I actually sketched out a fair bit earlier in the day when I was waiting for a work call that was running late to start. But I left it in the other room for a reason, and I think we can make this up as we go along. That's often how some of our best builds here happen.
The best way.
It's the best way. It's how I generally live my life, is make things up as they go along. So I plan to centralize that here. So in terms of the plot of land that we're talking about, I very, very quickly put up this little fence here towards the east-west railway viaduct, mostly just because there's an active sort of farm in here, and it's probably we want to not interrupt with that too much. But there is this big, I'm pretty sure this was built by Spooky, one of our moderators. I'm fairly sure. It's too old for me to check on the logging system, but I'm pretty sure it was. It looks very similar to other builds. And I think if we include this and build if we move this fence up under the railway here and really just incorporate the rest of this, that should be a nice way to sort of use a lot of this land. Oh, there's a new little underpass there. Pretty sure that's fairly new. I haven't noticed it before. So we can do quite a lot with this. We can keep it pretty loose up in those smaller ones, up in those smaller little corners. But we could probably build some little pedestrian paths and wayfaring so folks can get around. So what I'll do is I'm just going to move these. I'm just going to cut and paste those with World Edit. I'm going to put them over here, just nice and out of the way of our building, just so they're not damaged. And we can get rid of this little area here. The fence, you want to get rid of those. And what we should probably do is mark our upper limit. So there are builds up here. There's this big rainbow infinity symbol with this house built into the side, which is the home of some active players. So if this is lovely, look at this. That's very cute. If we build maybe up to, I'm just going to lay down a very quick line of diorite, and this is claimed. This is all claimed. Let's see how far we need to go. Pretty far. Okay. There's a housing complex under here, apparently. Under here. Okay. I'm just going to take a look then. Okay, so there's a housing complex over here. So that's cool. Oh my, this is just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. That is such a nice little study area. I love that. That's absolutely fine. So what we can do is, I'm just going to allow myself to put stuff down here, and we can just make this our upper limit. And up in this part, we just need to really just put down a fence, so myself and the moderators can do that. So that's our northmost limit of the park. So we've got a pretty sizable area here to build with. So the things we probably need to do here are get some land leveled out. And hello everyone, I've never played Minecraft, I just like Bilbo. You're very welcome. There's no requirement to know anything about Minecraft to join the stream or play on the server. In fairness, come and learn here if you want. Yes, there are also there are cows. Sorry, there are cows in Minecraft. But there are also cats in Minecraft. Here is one of them. They teleport after players. You can tame them and they will follow you around. This is a skeleton horse, doing a very, very impressive rearing back. They're not supposed to do that. That was very impressive. So we need to now work out what we're going to be doing. We probably need to flatten some land, or at least sort of make it less like jagged almost. And we can also displace these fields here. They are used, they're not used a terrible amount. You can see here there are still some stalks growing, but we also have a lot of other farms very close to spawn, and also communal farms accessible by train. And we're so close to spawn right here that we should probably use this for something else. So if we're ripping this up, there's no need to plant the seeds. If you want to harvest all this wheat, that might be sensible. I'll put down some chests, and we can harvest this so that we can put it in communal storage at spawn. So here's some chests. It shouldn't take that long, in fairness. It's not that many wood blocks. Sorry, wheat blocks. And then what we can do is we can build our fences, which probably myself and the other moderators can do. And we can then make a start from there with terraforming, setting our layers and making it a bit more even. So what I'm going to do here is probably... I think I tried this last week. Give Ellen from now on dirt 2048. Yeah, and if I give this to other players, I think, with apologies to Dawn Sparrow, whose inventory is now full of dirt, if it's not already full of wheat. We can get some blocks out to folks. The commands I used to use for generating large amounts of building materials have been lost to time, and I was trying to work out where they had gone. Because as far as I understood, they were central, so they must have been to do with something else. So we're going to need a lot of dirt. So all of these have a ton of dirt in them. Do we have too much wheat? No, we have plenty of space for wheat. We have plenty of space for wheat. That didn't take long at all. Not whatsoever. And we have lots of seeds over there. So we have plenty of wheat. This is all dirt. So we can... I'm just going to make this clear that it's dirt. We can do that with billboards. This is a very simple server-side plugin that just basically makes big letters. It's pretty handy for signage. Let's bring it back today. Yeah, stick any spare dirt in those chests, and we can get building. So we need to flatten this terrain. So maybe these holes, like these dips here, if we fill them in closer to the level of the bottom of the big Bilbo. I can, well, if folks are already converting all of this to Yeah, grass blocks, very welcome. Grass blocks are probably much more expensive for folks to get because you need to use Silk Touch or kill Endermen that happen to be holding them to get them. So we can make as much dirt as we want to build, so we may as well do that. We're making progress though. What I'll do here is just mark a perimeter line northbound to bound the east side of the park. So I'm just going to use some fairly crude world editing just to make this a little quicker so we can get on to the fun stuff, the fancy building. And we can probably afford to build a nice little design, like nice designed wall. I think that's fair to say. So, jeez, this is going pretty fast. Now, getting rid of the water blocks here will make all of the farmland revert to dirt, and then where grass exists, that will spread across other dirt blocks to completely cover the map. The dirt, sorry, in grass. For those that don't know how to play Minecraft, that is a tip. It's been that way since the very beginning of the game. Well, not from farmland was added. So, while terraforming, this is absolutely wild. While terraforming is underway, I'm going to bound in the rest of the park so we can sort of just tell our dimensions and get a better idea of the sizes that we're dealing with. And then what we can do is around the park, we can sculpt that landscape so that it blends in nicely and it looks like it all fits. So I'm just going to make a little template here for a wall that we can build a number of gates into so that it's really easy to move around the map. Is that too simple, or is it too cluttered? Or we could do that. And what that allows is it's still a wall, but if for whatever reason people do want to hop over, they can, and they don't need to break anything. So I'm just gonna, just in case I need to use it, just copy that into my clipboard. And then we need to work out how level changes are going to be handled here. So this isn't terribly natural. This isn't natural terrain. Evidently, somebody's stuck a layer of dirt, or I'm assuming dirt and not grass blocks, over the top, and then that's just grown. Look at the speed of that. That's super impressive. We have great railway views here as they get tongue-tied. So how are we going to deal with level changes? Probably just let them climb, so like that, so they merge into one another, perhaps. That's probably the most sensible way. However, what level is this on? So this is on level 68. So that's the level at the big Bilbo, Large Boy by Syntha. That's the level that we're at. Is this 68? Probably is. Yep, it's 68. If you were to give an estimate, I always let my tea go cold because I get a 2 into this. If you were to give an estimate percentage of how often you use the letter B without adding an additional B, what percentage do you reckon it would be? I think still the majority of the time. I did, my phone bricked itself a while ago, like last week or the week before, and I've had to add all of Bilbo's ways of speaking back into to my dictionaries, and that's that has hindered my ability to do things quickly a lot, but we'll get there. For anybody standing Iron Donna on this land, this will disappear. So I think it's fair to say most server administrators will at some point use World Edit. It's been a staple of server administration for years. It just allows large scale world changes with the map. So, and it uses an argument system. So I have selected, using the wooden axe, a point down here and a point over there, and I expanded it up by 5, and we're just going to set that to air, and now that's all gone, which flattens the area quite a bit. And there are lots of other ways we can blend. Materials. We can blend landscapes. And we can also stack things. So say stack that one up. And now that's that totally cleared. Now that doesn't look good. So what we can also do then is just require that to be grass. Pretty straightforward. Now all of this will grow on its own. It's incredibly fast. We do have some sugarcane down here. So what we can do, just to level this area out, was grow a weird word to say there? It might have been. I forget what I said exactly.
Are you talking about the dirt? The dirt growing?
The dirt growing into grass, maybe, or the grass growing over the dirt. I'm not sure.
See, I was thinking of it like the hoed lines growing in the dirt.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm still not exactly sure what I meant. Okay, so we have this sort of dip in the land here. And there's a few ways we can deal with that. First of all, I'm just going to drain this water. That makes it a lot easier. Let's just fill this in with some... I filled that in with grass blocks the whole way down, so if you dig in it'll look weird, but people aren't going to be digging in a whole lot. And so yeah, if we fill this in just to make it look a bit more even, yeah, so if you fill this in and bring it up to the level of the boy, perhaps, but sloping down towards this end here, perhaps. So there's a good flat area here, and then there's a gentle slope upwards. Then that means we can build paths on it and it looks nice and even, and we don't have to... It's a lot easier to landscape then and to plant trees. And we can plant some nice big trees as well. We have the means to do that. Yeah, so that's quite a pleasing. It's quite a pleasing gradient there. So we have 18 folks online playing now. Making great progress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete this wall. And we can make that nice. Oh, nice and quick. So we can again get to the nice, interesting landscaping. So how far back do we want to go here? So not much further. And that's absolutely fine. We probably should follow this terrain and match it so that it's a bit more natural looking up towards the end. Folks in voice chat, any ideas on like what would be a nice like aesthetic for, given the pixel art that we have, what would be a nice aesthetic to build into the park here, like in terms of trees or path designs or amenities.
I do like the diorite, so I'm but the walls, diorite walls, are quite nice.
Okay, well we can certainly we could use more diorite if we want. Concrete fountains with dark oak trees. Concrete.
That's a good point, actually. The dark oak is lovely.
It is. Yeah, concrete fountains with dark oak trees could look really well, and we don't actually have any dark oak anything, I think, in the general area, so that could look pretty. That could look pretty good. Yeah, we can do that. We could put some orange terracotta in there too for Bilbo. We can do whatever we want for Bilbo.
I would say for flowers like pink, yellow, orange for like a combination, like kind of like a sunset.
Okay, pink, yellow, orange flowers. We can do that. We can do that, not a problem. And yeah, the building I'm better at is technical building or infrastructure building. I've never been one for, not necessarily the aesthetic. I know exactly what sort of aesthetic I really go for, but I'm not a particularly good builder at achieving those aesthetics necessarily. And it's very clear that there's a lot of other players on this server who are very talented in that respect. So, does that look silly? It kind of looks just like a sawtooth wave. Sorry, a triangle wave.
I like it.
We can add to it. Like we can build more less frequent columns perhaps, or add adornments to it. We'll see. We'll see. I think it looks a bit I'm not sure. It looks a bit something though. I can't really put my finger on it just yet. It doesn't matter. We'll make do. So we have... Nope, that's not the right one. And then we can fill this in at the other side to make that a bit more... Make that a bit more even, and to hide a little bit of this wall. We can build it up from the inside, if that makes sense. So I think some orange end bricks in there would look nice, especially with the orange terracotta. That could work. A spooky, one of our moderator team who is very good at the old aesthetics, is making some suggestions, which I'm very happy to see. Yeah, that's a lot more interesting. That is a lot more interesting. Yeah. That looks much better. So what we can do... I'm going to build the base out here. And we can just go from there.
Could we move Donna, please?
Could we move?
Iron Donna is in a hole.
Where?
She's being a bit buried now.
There we go.
Thank you.
We can fix all of these issues. This is this pixel art's been here for a couple of months now. It was I think the first item of pixel art that was added to the server, at least sort of like big, very central, very noticeable pixel art that really stands out on the map. I know there were smaller ones, but it's a pretty sizable boy, which is no bad thing. So let's. That doesn't look good, but we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Okay, so Spooky is making this look a lot more interesting. I also like the alternation here between polished diorite and standard diorite. And of course, the moderation team also have access to world edit should they want to use that for making that a bit more straightforward. So we have this is wildly more developed than it was in terms of what we were looking at even 20 minutes ago. Let's just tidy this up back here. Just to make that a little cleaner for the other side. And then what we can do is move, once we get terraforming done, then we can set out where we want various paths and such. So we have, I think, a decent shape sort of established for the park, with obviously the big focal point being this large man. Lovely tea. So I'm just going to fill these holes. That's that one. That's that one. That's that one. What do we do with these animals? Do we keep these animals? Do we just let them roam free? Do we bring them somewhere else?
Let them roam in the park.
Let them roam. Okay, let's let the animals roam in the park. The animals now can roam in the park. So what I'll just do is... Will this hurt them? Yes. Okay. I do apologize about that. We have a few less chickens now, which was unintentional. We have the same amount of other animals. They can jump should they want. So if we clear up, they don't look terribly happy. If we hit them, oh dear. They can move. Yep. A cow that is lying down can get up whenever it wants. So I'm just going to move this sculpture up a little just so we can work underneath it. I do like it. I do quite like it. So Spooky is asking, how about something like this? Lots of lots of people holding hands. That's pretty cool actually. Yeah, that looks good. It does look like lots of people holding hands, and that's pretty nice. Appreciate that. Yeah. looks good. This is the is Spooky in our voice chat? Yes. So Spooky can hear and I don't need to type. This yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe it's to talk about world peace. Maybe this is the peace park, all these people peacefully living holding hands together. So I'm just going to move this up. So it now floats. We'll bring it back down. We're just going to terraform just a bit more around here. And the moderator team can also ignore claims to do things like this, to build things in the public interest, or to, that's such a pretentious term for what I mean, to build sort of these ideas. There is a development underground, but we're not building there, we're building over it. So we do need to probably level this out a little here, just to give ourselves a bit more of a level, literally a level playing field. This is always the fun bit of building at spawn, because there's just so much everywhere. Get rid of these little... That's actually one for other moderators just mentioned. It looks like one of those pieces of paper that when you fold them and cut them out, it turns into people holding hands. Looks exactly like that. That is delicious tea. I love red bush tea. It's genuinely a delight, and a delight that doesn't keep you up at night. I hope that wasn't somebody's important dirt block that I just broke. Okay, so we're getting there. Filling in is going on here. Oh, that's somebody's shulker box. Somebody's cat. Maybe pancake. We probably will want to transition this into the railway at some point. So if we even just do that for now, and then the other walls. Big fan of you and Bilbo. Thank you for everything you do. You're very welcome. I'm glad you made it here. I hope you enjoy your stay on this very silly little part of the internet. We don't pretend to be overly serious. The point is just to chill for a while and build with some blocks. Yeah, it seems to work pretty well for that. Lego for Bilbo. Okay, so we've got this completely TPS is tanking. Keep an eye on that. So we've got the perimeter. If not completely finished, we have it laid out, so we can start doing more. Okay, so we have some benches going down there. I'm just going to fill this in. And then we can terraform it nice and smoothly. Build away. Build away. We'll make the park whatever it whatever it becomes, I'm sure it'll be nice. So if you maybe follow, so yeah, this lovely nice smooth gradient. So if we follow this, probably should have a little more breathing room around the bottom of the man. You can get up whenever you please. There we are. And then just let's feather this edge. Like that. And knock off. Knock off those corners like that. That'll do. That'll do. Or do we just want to bring it up level? Maybe we should just bring it up level. I'm about to kill more chickens, for which I apologize. We can bring the chickens back. You can get up. You can get up. You can get up. Well, might have been able to get up at some point. Although to be honest, we have so many entities around spawn. Like there are so many sheep everywhere. There's a kitty trapped in the dirt. Where is the kitty? Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So we have nothing in that, something in that, something in that, nothing in that, nothing in that, and nothing in that. So I'll just move these somewhere safe so we can fill that in. We'll just stick it over. We'll stick it over here. What way was that pointing? I think it was pointing this way. So it should just, yep, should just appear there. So we can then... Still so much dirt here. Let's just move those out of the way. Dirt. And that gives us a bit more room underneath here. People can build here as long or as short as they want. No obligation. And the park will be free to use for any players anytime. Nearby we have some central social housing for anyone who needs access to that. We have the access to the railways, and we have some lovely other lovely public art. And this, I think this, or an area of this is becoming a walking park soon. I could be wrong about that. Might be another part. So let's just, if you want to maybe bring this up level to that, or just bring it in here, then we can bring that down. A Union Pacific Shield. I do not know what that means. I don't think so anyway. I think we can probably put gaps in those in the taller walls at some point to make it make them visually a little more interesting. Okay, right. So I'm just going to fill this. There we go. Well, then it is very handy from time to time. Okay, so let's can't believe the server is more accessible than my city. Yeah,
It's the dream, isn't it?
it is the dream. We do have actually I remember on the previous server that I ran, we actually used to have train station entrances with steps and then ones with ramps, and the ramps were like a much more gentle gradient, and it was, the logic was that if you could run up them in Minecraft, they were accessible, whereas I think it's changed now. You can run upstairs. Don't quote me on that. So that was the termination. So there's a path over here which does.
You can indeed run up the stairs. I've just done it.
You can run up the stairs?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you used to not be able to. Oh, so you can. Yeah, you used to not be able to. So there's paths over here which lead out to public roads, so we can connect to those. This is taking shape pretty nicely. Not sure what we want to do. Both the server and my single player have better public transport than the metro area I live in. Yes, I don't doubt that. How would you feel about a Bilbo dictatorship? I probably wouldn't welcome that. Make a dab. To protect my dear brother's reputation, I will not dab on camera. You should go check out the Bilb Church Cathedral by the new Lakeland train station. That whole area is getting developed now. Okay, I did not know that. Let's do that. Actually, I'm just gonna pour another cup of tea. Another cup of red bush. Which, if you hadn't had this tea before, it's really, really nice. It's kind of malty. There's no caffeine in it whatsoever. You don't need sugar. Or I don't need sugar in it. I usually take some sugar in breakfast tea. And it's just really pleasant. I could drink it by the litre. It's really, really good. There's a couple of other little locations we've been asked to go take a look at as well. I'm just pouring milk everywhere, which isn't ideal, but I'm used to it at this point. I've learned to keep kitchen towel underneath my learned to keep kitchen towel under the table. Okay, right. So we have a mostly flat area here. Shall we lay out paths then next? Does that sound sensible? Probably a good idea to get an idea of what we're dealing with. If you want to do any large-scale circles, we can help with that as well. I'm assuming these blocks mean something. I'm not sure. Or they don't. One of the two. Okay, right. Let's lay out some paths. Okay. Diorite? Grass paths? What sounds best for park path materials? Voice chat have any ideas?
Can do some of each, like a main diorite path through the middle and then grass paths branching off.
That could work. We also had the idea of was it concrete? Concrete fountains with dark oak trees. which could work. So what we can do then is, I guess, I'll give out a ton of diorite. Concrete borders and diorite paths. Okay, yeah, that is an idea. Let's do that. Concrete borders, diorite paths. Okay. Probably grey concrete. Yeah, that could work. It would also work well with the side of the railway. Okay, right. I guess grey concrete. Here we come. Grey concrete. Grey terracotta. Grey concrete. There is a lot of grey concrete being expelled here. Come and take as much as you wish. And we need some diorite. Polished diorite. Let's actually put this in a separate pile. Polished diorite. Spectator sound me at the church and the tower, but unfortunately I can't log on right now, but I can watch the stream. No worries. You're very welcome to the stream. I will check that out. There's some diorite there, so let's get some chests to put this in just in case. Let's actually walk into it. A little northeast of the new station. The northeast of the new station from last stream. We're going to collect it to connect to the station, so but we need help in the area. Okay, well let's take a look at that. Okay, so I think letting mob rule for the layout of the paths sounds absolutely fine. Okay, let's do that. Shall maybe main paths, should they be 3 wide with 1 border on each side? Should they be... Yeah, okay, right, let's try that. So I'm just going to take a look at what that would look like. So are we going this direction? Like that? That could work. The church is to pray for chunks, and I think it's working. Yeah, staying in one place has helped a lot. But I will now visit Lakelands and come back. Let's take a look at Lakeland Station. So during the last stream, we opened the North-South Railway down to this point. So the all a little northwest of the station. So this is west, and that is north. So the church for praying for chunks, we will now invoke and see if we can find where it is. TPS is actually not too bad. So let's hope we can find this. Oh, here we go. This looks promising. That's not terribly natural looking. Okay. Right. So we have Coloured Wool Farm. What is this? The Bilbo Church of Unloading Chunks. Bilbo Church of Unloading Chunks. This is pretty fitting that there's an unloaded chunk here. What does this say? Oh, Christ. Okay, so we do have the Our Father. We do have the Protestant version of the Our Father, I do believe. I I went to Catholic school and I learned the one without the addition at the end. I think that is the part at the very end. So yeah. Oh, cross community, Bilbo Church, our Bilbo Heart in Northern Ireland. Chunks will know that trains will flow as it is in Europe. Also, on the server give. If I just breathe exasperatedly into the mic, does that explain? Sometimes so Bilbo passed well he was on 96.6 thousand followers yesterday, and he's now at, let's just see, 97.4 thousand, so 800 followers in a day. And I sometimes have to think what in the world is going on, just in general. I like the church. Stained glass die. Oh, we have a tower. Let's take a look at the tower. Okay. Quite like that. Oh, it's a basement. Okay, let's get back up to level here. Take a look. Newspaper stand. I understand there is a plan for a server newspaper. Lakeland News Agency. That's quite cute. Breaking news goes here. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's good. Lakeland Adventuring Home. Zombie Villager entrance only. Is this a zombie villager curing thing? Yeah. Tower District zombie cure. I still don't understand the automation of that process, but apparently it's possible. Lakeland Tower, Church of Unknown Junks. Lakeland Station, Lakeland Heights. Okay. Village Well. And the tower. Lakeland Tower. Let's just fly up here quickly. You know, andesite and granite get a bad rap sometimes, but I really like both of them. I love the new stone blocks in the game. They're not new anymore, but they still have their fair share of people who really, really, really hate them for whatever reason. I quite like them. They're quite pleasant. This is a lovely little area, so if you're looking for somewhere to build, and you quite like andesite, then come to Lakeland Station, take the train south from Central Station, and get off at the last stop, and a little while away you'll be here. So let's go back. Can I go back? Yes, perfect. Okay, so we have our paths developing. So what actually I'll do here is make this look coherent with this, to blend it in, and then we can flesh out our paths further on. So let's make it nice to be outside in. Daytime and sunny. That's a bit nicer. Look at that. Stairs. So we need diorite. Diorite reminds me of clothes. Look, shag carpet. Yeah, actually, yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that. I quite like diorite. It's a good block. It's a good block. So let's just stick up some diorite bits. Excuse me, Izzy. Apologies. And I'm aware of the health and safety implications, of course, here of working directly above a live railway with no barrier in place. But the HSE is, the Health and Safety Executive is fairly busy right now, so we should be fine. Okay. 4, let's just set those to polished diorite. Okay. Not a problem at all, is he? Okay, right. So let's just finish this up. Get the stairs in and the walls. That's probably my favorite Minecraft death message. Experience kinetic energy. It's very good. I've just realized what diorite reminds me of. Yeah, or small square tiling. Those little I remember my granny used to have this weird tiling by her fireplace. It wasn't ceramic, I think it was actually plastic. But it looked very similar to this. Let's just feather those blocky edges with some, that's the wrong, smooth those blocky edges with some extra stairs. And we should dig that down a little just to hide that. And do the same over here. Make it look a little more coherent with the park design. Are we going to need to dig into this tree? Nope. Okay, right. That is that. So we're making good progress on the paths. So concrete fountains. We talked about. Do we want a concrete fountain directly in front of Bilbo? So how long is Bilbo? I guess is the question. About that long. 118. So what's half of that? 60, 59. Sorry, yeah, 59. Okay. 59, 33. So we're looking at really 30 blocks. Just got kicked. I didn't get kicked. Disconnected by the looks of it. There would have been a kick message. Okay, right. Wooden, not wooden fountain. Concrete fountain. So. I wonder, would it make sense to do a, like a semicircular fountain against this railway? Would that make sense? Maybe? Possibly? Maybe. So we have good work happening on the paths. This is a sizable area. A sizable area. Okay, right. If you need a schematic for Fall Mountains, there are ones by the Museum. That is true. So if we do some small fountains and then perhaps a large one. So yeah, those look really nice. They're pretty nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do is make a semicircle here, and you can look this up and work it all out manually. You can also use World Edit, and I'm going to do that. So we're going to do a hollow cylinder. We're going to do, what is the recipe? Hollow cylinder. We're going to do it out of grey concrete. Grey concrete. Radius 10. That'll make it 20 wide. Is that too small? Not necessarily if we use this bit as well. So if we just expand that and come back here. controversial opinions regarding paths are very welcome. What will this be? What will this look like? Controversial opinions looking at paths. I'm looking forward to this controversial opinion. I think the endstone and orange terracotta paths go nicely with big old Bilbo. Okay, yeah. People don't like that. It's totally cool. What do other folks? So I will lay beside this path some of that so people can see. So we want endstone. I'm assuming endstone bricks. Oh, we have a path over there. Sly skeleton. Where is? Yeah, that looks really good. That looks really nice. Yeah. I'll let other people decide. Welcome to Vanya. To the chat. Yes, this is the park. So we are beside the big boy, and we are building park. So yeah, if folks think we should build with these, what we could do here is I can show what this would look like. So replace grey concrete with orange terracotta. Yeah, and replace polished diorite with endstone bricks. Like that. So that's what it would look like. Do we think this is better? Like, do more people agree on this? I'm happy with whatever folks think.
I do like the orange.
Yeah. Okay, well, if folks want to do that, let's give out some materials then. So, orange terracotta. Orange terracotta. Let's get some of this out. So there's some orange terracotta, and stone bricks. So let's get lots of endstone bricks out to get some nice paths laid down. And what I'll do is to see if the pain of relaying those servers saving the game. We can do that. Oh wait. I also meant to change the that. There we go. We can also speed that up a little. Okay, right. So we also have some smaller grass paths coming along here. Thanks to Josie, which look great. I love the way grass paths fade away from the edges. I think it's just a really, really nice look. Okay, so I was supposed to set down a water fountain. So let's set that down like that. And actually, since we're making that out of orange terracotta, we should probably do this as well. And we can do that pretty easily. Have some more path building materials. Yes, there are some. There are several stacks over here. Lots to go around. Okay, so I'm just going to flesh out this this little water fountain area a little more. And what should this be underneath? Probably just white terracotta, perhaps? Terracotta's always got that sort of like pinkish color underneath, which I think is quite nice. It will be hidden by the water, although in this shader pack you won't necessarily see the blue color that much. Let's not do that. Okay, right. So we have, what's the center of this? Is that. And so that's 2 across. That means that 1, 2, this is the center. Because this has been extended down, so where these 2 intersect. So that's the very center there. I think if we have a gate maybe over here, leading underneath into that forest, or we can just widen the path here perhaps. More paths is not a bad thing, at least in my books. So I've never built a fountain before, so we're making this up as we go along, which is good. So far we're this far along. Maybe if we surround this like that. This is very quickly turning into a desert well. Yeah, that's a bit much. We could do this with glass. Actually, you know what? Okay, here's some water. God, BSL shaders just make water look absolutely delicious. It's such a lovely... Colours of the path are nearly identical to British rail tickets. That's true. That orange there actually might be a little closer. That's orange concrete. It used to be orange wool. Changed to orange concrete because it stops it burning down, basically. Okay, so we have this. Do you want more contrast between... do you want more contrast between the underside? I said British because I wasn't sure, but I guess the same in Northern Ireland too, right? We actually, in Northern Ireland, so we don't actually have those orange and white tickets. We just have paper tickets, like standard label or receipt printer tickets. They have Northern Ireland Railways logos on the back and stuff, but no, they're completely different. It's a completely separate system. So let's replace the white terracotta with white concrete just to get some more. There we go. More contrast. And that then means we can... Do you want to do that? I'm not sure. Okay. So let's try flooding that. Okay. You tell I don't really build this sort of aesthetic stuff a lot. I really should practice more, so this is probably good practice. I get the feeling that there should be endstone bricks, perhaps because we have the endstone on the walls, sorry, on the paths. Let's try that. And then just build a little roof on top of it. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so we have that. This path is looking really nice. Maybe have a narrower path off the main one to go around the fountain, then benches. That sounds great. We can get rid of that extra grass there. So do we just put a little roof on top of this maybe? Possibly. I'm asking myself like I know.
This grass path that goes past the statues where we started, I've dug it out so it goes in towards the centre of Spawn. But now I'm wondering whether it should be paved and stuff.
I don't think it makes a terrible amount of difference. If we sign it and make it clear, then it should be grand.
Yeah, that's a good
Whereabouts
idea.
are you? Oh, you're over here. Okay, we can work it out. I'm not sure I like this fountain design. I wish we could get concrete walls and concrete slabs would be so nice in this game. Just being able to do more intricate things with concrete stairs. That would be really, really, really lovely. But we can't have those good things. Does that look terrible? Is the solution to make this terracotta end stone as well? I think it might be. Span 4 up. Let's just replace this orange terracotta with some endstone bricks. I think that's better. There's more contrast. Needs more tears. You have such a comforting, soothing, soft voice. Thank you. Can we incorporate glazed terracotta? That's an idea in the fountain. That is an idea. If you have any ideas on what colors of glazed terracotta, I can give them to you. Needs more tears in the fountain. What colors? I think we can do orange terracotta in the middle. Let's just get a whole stack. Okay. Do we want to do something more interesting with that? I never know. I always get oh, so replacing those, yeah. The tricky thing with glazed terracotta is getting it actually aligned properly. You have to spin around so much to get it looking half decent. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, just while that is just bring this out like that. Make this path a bit more chunky. And then we can start putting some benches, etc. around here. Okay. We also need some trees as well. So what I can do is and I'm just wondering here, we do have better control over trees. Tree, dark oak. Okay. Okay. So we can make quite chunky trees pretty easily. I think that all is helping. It is all helping. So does this lock to... No, it doesn't. I find, is this better or is this worse? Such a difficult question to answer most of the time. And this is a prime example of that. I think that is better. Who knows? I'm going to give out some dark oak saplings. Here's some dark oak saplings for anybody who wants to bunch and some bone meal actually. Move this bit over one. That is Sly Skeleton. Where are you? Okay. Yeah, these paths look really nice. They fit Bilbo's sort of color scheme pretty well. Just gonna bring this down a little. And we'll probably not finish this tonight, but we will come away with a lovely little a new park for everybody in the server to enjoy. Okay, so I'm gonna. Shall we move this? Shall we move this at the front where it might be more prominent? Because we're not. So the big test is Bilbo is still Bilbo is still perfectly visible from here. That's the big test. Like if we can't see Bilbo, there are too many trees, or the trees are too tall. So if we keep the trees a good clearance from the sun, from the man, then we can stop that problem from happening. Do we want to put how many blocks across is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this could go directly above this path, and that might look quite nice. And we can just suspend it or hold it up. Well, we could. So we could either put it on legs, or we could suspend it and build like a big arm to hold it. That might look pretty nice. Out of black concrete, and then you walk under it. Would that look good? There's one way to find out. So I'm going to go underneath this and look directly up. Is this supposed to say something, by the way? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. No, I think they need to be a lot more complicated to do that. Okay, let's go right in the middle. Cut. Let's come here. Paste. That's probably a bit tall. End bricks. Yep, here's some more end bricks. I think I actually give you some standard stone. Welcome to the new player who just joined for the first time. Okay. So that's, I think possibly we may need to bring that closer down to make it feel a bit more immersive, and then we can probably just suspend it. It looks cool like this above the road. Yeah, I think so. Like, it means you can sort of come in and interact with it a bit more. Just saw the stream, so much pretty stuff, totally mind-blowing. Glad so, you're very welcome. Welcome to Bilbcraft. It's a nice little place here. So I'm going to get rid of that block because I intend on suspending this whole thing from... Once 1.16 comes out, we'll replace these with the chain block, probably. But, yes, that is true. What I will do is... gonna make this a bit easier for those folks. So what we can do then, so in version we're running version 1.15. In version 1.16, which is the next major version of Minecraft, there will be some new blocks, including the chain block, which is entirely an aesthetic, a decoration block, but it looks really nice. It looks really nice. No, I think anything suspending this needs to be quite a bit higher for it to have the contrast. So if we go, hello Tony. Okay, is that high enough? Probably. So let's try this. Is that a nice curve? I think we're getting there. Who died there? Yeah, that's probably a decent enough curve. And then we can surround this with some black concrete. We can overhang this a little, like that. And then we can suspend it with iron bars to be replaced with the chain block once we have access to that. So we should attach this probably from this, possibly like that, and then the black part I don't really want to mess with it on the inside. Do we just project out a little here, or actually do we do it like this and then just grab that there? That could work, possibly. I'm very good at breaking the right blocks. That could work. Yeah, that works. That works pretty well. Okay. We do need some some lanterns. Around here. Oh, sorry, if this was your old farm, I do apologize. The plan was to move it further out, which we can do. Right. Let's get some lanterns up here. So probably the most obvious choice is end stone walls and lanterns. So we get some end stone walls and some lanterns. Then we can place those in together. Okay, so this is where these meet. So I'm just going to chop those. Then we can fix that up. Make it a bit prettier. If we get the right block once. And then we can probably, these are lovely curves. So those are fairly straightforward, so we will just replicate that probably. So we start 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. It feels like it's always becoming night. On this server. Okay, so let's just launch these down like that. So there's 3 wide, so we should probably come, whoops, like that's 3, then that's 2, then that's 1, 2. Okay. Lovely. When I was in school, I met someone who got severe RSI from playing Minecraft, and I completely believe it. All these quick block breaks. Okay. That's not too bad. Well, it does the job, you know, it does the job. So let's just green this quickly to see what it looks like. It's lopsided. It is lopsided. That needs to come like that. Does it? Yeah, that looks better now. Okay. So we have some work going on at the fountain here. These paths looking nice. It's finished up here, and what we can try is to play with some lanterns. Probably just like that. So let's try to see what that looks like. Yeah, those look okay. We could also do dark. We could also do dark oak fences because we have dark oak trees. So if we want to replace dark oak fence, then it would look like that. That's probably a bit more low profile. Combo of the two. Oh, so what we could do then, yeah, is like, yeah, so like that. So replace end stone brick wall like that. That could work. Like that. Or do you want two and then one? Okay, cool. Right, so that's our design for lanterns. So if we stick one here, oops, two, and then fine, just get the lantern again, and 5. Whoops. Okay. And then possibly just one in the middle here. Witchcraft. So there's plenty of room for trees here as well. So that looks grand, I think. Four, and then we can move this one down. Wandering Trader is at the park. Okay, we'll take a look at him. Oh, we can put another one in there. And here we want some more. We can move that. We can move that one now. We can hear the Wandering Trader just there. Okay, that's that, and we can just move this boy over 4 to that side, and the same one with this. Okay. Do we still need all of the dirt? Does all of the dirt sound like it's needed? Probably not overly. What does the Wandering Trader have? An emerald for a single fern. Not really. Oh, and we have is this for more of these? Right, so I guess we just need God, I've been streaming for 2 hours. This might be a good time to call it for tonight, and then what we can do is show I'll probably stay on the server for a little longer. And just show what it looks like 1 week on next Friday. This looks pretty good so far. And this should help connect a lot of spawn locations to this should help connect a lot of spawn locations to the inner north. and across the railway as well. There should be nice connections. Night is a thing, but we're just while building here on stream, we keep switching it to day, just because it's a bit nicer to build in. But we will let it become night soon. The color scheme is really nice. Yeah, I think that was a good call. We have fish here. Yeah. Do we want to just put a lot of salmon in the thing? How do you spawn salmon egg? Salmons? Coral? I have no idea how coral works. Do we have a dead brain coral? Fire coral?
Coral has to be touching a water source to keep its color, though.
Well, it should be, because those are all water source blocks.
Uh-oh.
That seems to be working. All the fish like to stay in the middle, which is interesting. Maybe they just like all the bubbles. Oh, they're going up. Okay, right. I think that's going to call us for tonight. Again, if you want to join in on the park building, or on the on the park building tonight, join at craft.bilbo.cat. Go to bilbo.cat/craft for all of the joining information. You can also see the online map there, and if you want to play in the server, you're welcome to at any time. I just hear people dying in the background. I think there's a pufferfish in here somewhere. Yeah, I think pufferfish do attack people. Thank you all so much for joining. Next week we'll have more to do, I'm sure. We'll see the finished park around the place, and we can. These fish are having the time of their lives, evidently. And yeah, if we'll work out what we need to do for next week. If you like Bilbo particularly much, we're still fundraising to print the book that we're working on, and you can get information about that at bilbo.cat/book with 1 or 2 Bs, as many as you please. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much to everybody who plays on the server and makes it such a lovely little community, and to all of the patrons who support this and all of my work. Now time to roll credits. See you next week, and yeah, have fun, and hopefully I have my level set correctly so credits will work properly. See you soon. Cheerio. Voice chat is now offline. That's it. I'm taking the executive decision to get rid of all of the massive, all of these chests full of dirt.